Hello, John, and nice to meet you virtually. This will be some video feedback for you on your wireframes 3.3 and 3.2. Now, 3.2 and 3.3, it's a binary rubric. You either uploaded it or you didn't. You're either able to make basic styling to your type or not. So, but I'll discuss them anyway, and good job on the wireframes. Pencil sketching is fine, whatever it takes to get the ideas out. And sometimes that is the most efficient way. Good job. John, this bodes well. First of all, thank you for the screenshots. And it looks like you've tried them in a wide variety of browsers. So this is a good workaround to using browser shots. Now, one other thing, you've been able to establish a account on your web server, GeoCities, and you've given me the URL. So that shows me that you've been able to upload things. Good job. Now, John, I suspect I'm probably looking at week 4, or this last week, but that's okay. Just a suggestion, you might consider finding ways to archive your project sites so that you're not overwriting the index.html. But nonetheless, I see some great things. First of all, you've been able to import an image. That's great. And you have the beginnings of a navigation system with, it looks like, dummy pages. So good going on that. All you need to do really is develop your navigation for the home page and then place it on your child pages. I also see that you've applied the corporate color to the type. Now, when I go to look at your code, I see some good things here. I wanted to point out what's called host code. And that is code that is placed on your page dynamically by your web server. In this case, that's GeoCities. And so here's what it looks like. Don't be alarmed when you see it. It makes your pages searchable. And then I see that you've got your sitemap, which has become your, looks like it's become your navigation, or will become your navigation. So good job on that. And I see that you have selected a color, triplex color for the type. You've used Times Roman. This needs to be changed probably to who's your client. Is it Town? Yeah, it's Town. Try to use, if at all possible, the corporate typefaces. But I see that you've met the requirements or the criteria of the rubrics well. You've added the style, and you've properly uploaded it to GeoCities. Congrats. John, this is exemplary. I see not only a visual sitemap, but I see an XML sitemap here. And this is appropriate for the foot of a web page. And then I see, I see how you can adapt this. Just take the URLs into an unordered list. Now, I think that's what you need to do next. I see that you have the beginnings of a navigation system, but it's not necessarily built on an unordered list. Just a few changes in your code and you'll have that, if you haven't gotten to that already. Then I see that your file management on your computer matches closely in terms of directory structure, what you've got on CyberDuck or GeoCities viewed through CyberDuck. So that shows me quite a few things, that you've been able to use an FTP client and that you've been able to practice good file management not only on your PC, but also on your web server. Good job. John, I'm sorry to take these sort of out of order, but, again, I mentioned that pencil on paper is just fine. I think this is a slideshow. Yeah, it's a simple indication of a slideshow. I think putting your links at the top, logo off to the left, it may seem, I guess, prosaic to do it that way, but it really, in terms of the user, it's perhaps the best arrangement and meets usually most of the expectations about navigation. When you push the logo down here, you risk having it get truncated depending on the format that the viewer uses. If they choose landscape, it may be okay, but portrait orientation of their page might cause different problems. Take a look at as you develop your website, take a look at it on a variety of platforms, including your phone, and if you have access to a tablet, check it out on that too. I like all of these. I like where you have, that you have large images that are bleed left and right. And I think, you've got a footer here with social media. I think that's realistic. You're going to want to put a footer on your page. And so, either one of these, I think 1 and 2 is good. They're just only subtly different. I'm thinking that I guess this is going to be superimposed over the slideshow. That might be tricky in practice to do, but I like the idea. Not very helpful maybe in helping you choose one, and there will be some compromises no doubt made as you learn to position page ingredients using CSS. Okay, so John, I see how you've arranged things in GeoCities. I see that you've got a image folder and a media folder. That's great. Let me just zoom in here so other people can benefit from it. What do you think you might put in the media folder? Just a quick question. You have the other HTML pages at the same level as index. That's okay. You might consider putting them in their own directories and leaving index.html at large in the town directory. But that's good. Now, as I said before, your sitemap that will become the basis for your navigation should be an unordered list. So check that out. That'll be in Chapter 4 of HTML5 Foundations. I'll leave it here, John. Great job.